just as the great ocean has one taste, the taste of salt, so the Dharma Vinaya has one taste, the taste of freedom.
So the vision for these retreats originally was to really bring in more of that imaginative, mythic, poetic side of Bhante, because William Blake's been central to that since Bhante first met him when he was in his teens.
Bhante was very drawn to him because he saw that as a way of connecting with the Dharma, but from a very Western perspective.
Each year we've had a different theme and we've explored all sorts of different angles. We've explored innocence and experience. We've explored energies, eternal delight. But this year we've come to the really big theme, which is Bhante, Blake and vision. And you get a sort of 3D effect if you're hearing his words and seeing the images. So we always start with immersing people in Blake's visionary world through slides as well as talk.
We've had some time using colour, sometimes writing. It does tie in well with meditation, the fact that you're tuning into what is. And also as an order member, to sadhana practice the colours and the shapes and the feelings.
And then we move towards a silent day on the Wednesday of our retreat, when we can just see what wants to unfold. We might do quite a lot of meditation. People might be in here doing their artwork. However, people want to really take that into the depths of their own being.
I think it takes you to a place which is easier to integrate into your life because it's very gentle.
The highlights for me would have definitely been the circumambulations. I found those extremely moving. And the Chinese tea ceremony. We don't very often do that kind of thing on a more formal retreat, and it was a very informal and beautiful way into mindfulness.
It's been a real, almost like a trifle, a real mixture of things that you end up feeling very satisfied, you know.
When you're able to read the texts in the original languages, you feel this sense of connection to the history of our tradition. And because that's something I benefited from so much, I really wanted to try and share it with other people in Triratna.
Shradapa style, which involves getting you immersed in usage, in actual examples, and then working backwards to the structure that lies behind that.
The only way you really learn a language is by having input from the language, hearing the language or reading the language in a way your brain can make sense of. By the end, people were saying that, they'd managed to figure out about 80% of the text on their own, which is, amazing after 2 weeks.
It is fabulously enriching to discover, what you've been saying in Pujas all these years.
At Home Days is an opportunity when both of the communities at Adhisthana come together, the men's community and the women's community. Yeah, it's just like an opportunity for us to really just spend time with each other, to study together, to practice together.
This time we tried to make it more into a retreat. So we had a theme on the Abhidharma, the 51 mental events. So we were exploring our minds.
Part of it was going to a garden and really watching our minds and what it's doing. It was beautiful to have that sort of space and focus on looking at our minds.
And all the cooking for each other is quite a big thing. My sense of the days together is people making something special for each other.
This at Home Days, Maitri Yogini came back from Akashavana. So that was a very nice celebration. We arrived in the courtyard and we had rose petals and a big sign that people had made. And yeah, it was just a really joyous return.
I think what I loved is having a basis of shared understanding through which to engage in the kind of conversations that I want to have about life as an order member. And of course, hanging out in the beams, chatting late at night.
That's also a highlight.
It's really, really significant events. It's much more than merely social events. I feel really nourished and re-inspired and deeply grateful, yeah.
Well, I wanted some study in the Dharma that was from a more scholastic approach. Divan is, oh, wow, yes, enthusiasm. And then you got Shraddha, well, in the Sanskrit, that means something else entirely from what you've just said. So we start off either Shraddha, which he's been doing quite a lot of PowerPoints, or Divan, who gives a little talk. And then we have lots of questions and answers. Then there is a meditation session in the afternoon. I mean, what was interesting is how much the meditation clarified the concepts. The first subject we had, which was on the Rupa Dhyanas, we tried our hand at a Rupa Dhyana of infinite space. Most of these things, like the Madhyamaka, Nagarjuna, and Yogacara, are fundamentally about meditation and experience. They're not philosophical doctrines.
So the structure of the Summer Sangha has been really spacious. We've had meditation in the morning, 2 sits of meditation, and then we've had an interesting talk in the mid-morning, followed by more meditation, followed by groups, and a wonderful puja on most nights of the week. I was also with other people that had come as open participants, and the people in my group were from all over the country, but also all over the world. This gave me an opportunity to meet people from all sorts of different places that I maybe never would have met before.
Had some moments of like, this is Sukhavati. The Robin sitting on the little sculpture and singing, and people were walking around, you know, this is it really.
It's just a beautiful space, and it really allows your practice to develop in a really supportive way.
Recently had a spot of re-inspiration, and the Sangharakshita study course came up just at the right time. It's a 3-year commitment. I think it's 4 seminars a year. The first part's been about his early writings. The course has been fantastic. You know, you start off, you can still feel a bit of the shore underneath your feet, and as you get deeper into the teachings, you reach the continental shelf, and you're all of a sudden carried into great depths and pushed along by this powerful, powerful currents that ultimately manifested in the order. I recall the quote that he said that had he not found the Dharma, he might have gone mad. And I feel the energy behind that manifesting in the way that he's writing in the Course. Subhuti talked in introducing the Course about Bhante's writing was always writing for the future, writing for us. And I thought, well, actually this Course is for the future as well. But I want to be a repository of Bhante's teachings, and I want to be able to put it in front of as many people as possible. I mean, look at the state of the world. It's just so needed.